ECW, from nothing else, was the vehicle to get CM Punk over. If that's all that they wanted to accomplish, they accomplished their goal.
Next, we're going to move on to something that actually you sort of half hinted at beforehand, where you were saying something to do with, just a bit of a nod or not a nod from someone like a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels and things like that. So the biggest, I don't want to say homegrown star of, but maybe you would say, as far as like a main roster thing, CM Punk with WWE ECW, apart from, the originals or someone like Kurt Angle coming from SmackDown or Raw or wherever he came from. CM Punk is the standout sort of new star in the WWE ECW. And I wanted to mention this because the month before, and once again, I saw this as a young adult fan watching Survivor Series. And CM Punk is teaming with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And I found it particularly interesting, the reactions with them. And I was always wondering, are D-Generation X, as they were at the time, are they trying to latch on to Punk to sort of get some of the, new superstar rub from him, to make them seem hip and cool and whatever? Or are they tagging with CM Punk for another reason? And I don't know if I'm getting too conspiratorial. Say, let's work with him, let's see if he's got it, and then...
Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm already going to finish your sentence for you.
Please,
I know what
you're
thinking. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, their pattern of behavior with these talents, and it's been proven, it's a pattern. What they do is, and these are, some people like it would Ben Hamina talked about like Triple H being the least cool, in touch guy that could try to act in touch and cool because of Lemmy, the Motorhead stuff. Like he's kind of outdated if you think about the current stuff. So what I look at, and I'm no different. I mean, I love 80s love songs, so I'm right there with Triple H. Lemmy never sung those, so I'm not a fan of Motorhead for that. But what I'm looking at, Triple H and Shawn, a little bit with Punk, definitely with the Spirit Squad when they were at their height and most over. It's literally, let's latch on to them, let's use them to get us over, then let's tell the office they don't have it. So you get like a three-pronged attack politically of what you can do. You can look cool by being with Punk, and that's why I'm amazed that Punk got as far as he did during that time, because him and Hunter definitely didn't like each other. I've seen them interact when I was there, and I got to see them interact. Shawn and CM Punk got along a little bit better, but you can tell Punk had his walls up and knew what he was dealing with. But with Hunter, it seemed like two different, they were talking at each other in a way. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to. So I'm amazed Punk got as far as he did. And the reason was Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman and him struck up a friendship and a common goal, I don't know, in OVW. When Punk was in OVW, Paul loved Punk, and ECW, from nothing else, and I proved it because I wrestled him a ton of times, was the vehicle to get CM Punk over. And I've said it in past interviews, if that's all that they wanted to accomplish is to make Punk a star, they accomplished their goal, if nothing else. A lot of people fell to the wayside, including Rob, Sabu, you have Big Show, Lashley, you have a ton of people, Test, who else? Dreamer, the FBI, everybody. I didn't even get out of the gate. I mean, that was Joey's quote on commentary. I don't even count when it comes to that. But there's a lot of talent. Like, we look at Balls Mahoney. I got a Balls Mahoney story to tell you if it comes to that point. It's incredible what I saw, what Balls go from, and then basically to at the end of his time there.
Yes, that will be coming up in a take a drink future episode. I'm gonna come back to CM Punk in a second. I also want to make mention of the Survivor Series match that Mike Knox, who is one of the new breed, I guess, of WWE ECW stars, was eliminated from that Survivor Series match in 40 seconds because Shawn Michaels legitimately had no idea who he was.
Wow. I mean, how does it finish? Is that the finish that was pitched to Mike? Or was it, how did that work as far as backstage? I would assume if he said, I don't know who this, he didn't send it to Mike Knox. Shawn doesn't have the balls to say that. But he definitely made it known that, like, that's my guess. Am I off with that?
I would have to re-watch the match, but I think with the review, he may have actually said it on TV or said it to the camera or something like that. It's like, I don't know who he is. And apparently that stems from a few weeks earlier, where he legitimately told somebody who is that guy who we're wrestling, because he didn't watch the ECW on Sci-Fi show.
Well, I understand that, but that's no way to, if you don't know who he is, but he's figured in and you want to beat him in 40 seconds, you just basically, and then you say on camera, like, kind of like that's the reason Sting didn't even go to WWE back in the day when it was WWF. Because when Rock turned to Booker T and said, "Who are you?" Sting was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Mike Knox is instantly buried in the same exact fashion
Yeah.
of, "I just beat this guy and I don't even know who he is." Like, literally, that's a nobody. And Mike Knox was a man, he was a hell of a talent. He was a monster, but he could work.
He's still out there, isn't he, Mike?
I believe so, I'm not sure. But I know I wrestled him a few times in the new ECW, and he was really, really good. And then he was in that Carnival act in TNA and a couple other things, and he went to NWA for a little bit, and I think he wrestled Trevor Murdoch, on one of the pay-per-views or TVs.
Yeah, he's still wrestling for NWA as we speak. Not currently, but you know what I mean. Let's go back to CM Punk.
I could be having a taping at 7 AM or 8 AM, 9 AM.
Yeah, you could be. You smart ass.
Hey, hey,
With,
hey, your name's Knox and yours isn't, so you're a tag team.
I can see you searching for that one.
No, I didn't have anything. I just went, you're not.